Hey guys, Marsinger here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today I'm going to do the 55% showcase for our boy HACCHAN, aka Android 8, aka Aita. I did the battlefield earlier today, so I streamed, I did my summons for Kid Goku, I didn't pull Aita, but I got Goku off of the tickets. I mentioned in the 55% Goku showcase that's already gone up now that I did a couple of multis after the stream and didn't get him. Basically decided to call it a day, but I did do the battlefield reset and, you know, farming the story event for the Yamcha and all that kind of stuff, and that did give me enough stones to do another multi. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to buy any more stones to use on this banner, but since we got 50 stones, why not give it a shot? And despite not getting a special animation or a combo or anything like that, I just kind of assumed it would be a dead multi, but there was our boy. So we've got him awakened, 55%. I've used him to do today's like growth event and something else, so he's got a couple of links have gone up above 1. But, you know, he's basically freshly pulled. I whacked a level 4 defense bronze skill orb and a level 4 dodge because he is primarily a defensive unit. So he has a Dragon Ball Saga leader skill, but I can't imagine anyone really going to be using him as a leader. He greatly raises attack for 1 turn and does supreme damage with his super attack. And then his passive is attack and defense 80% and 20% damage reduction. Then he gets an additional 80% attack and defense and 30% damage reduction when there is an ally whose name includes Goku Youth attacking in the same turn. So that means he's going to be getting 160 attack and defense and 50% damage reduction, which is obviously pretty good. He then gets Ki plus 8, an additional attack and defense 80% for 5 turns after receiving an attack. He recovers 80% HP when HP is 20% or less once only. So pretty good. He has essentially like a full heal effect, but 20% is quite a like risky margin to get down to. This is probably going to be one of those things that kind of only ever comes into play where if you eat a super on the turn before and you just about survive, and then this guy comes in and gives you the heal, which can definitely be very beneficial. And then once you get to turn 5, he gets an extra 30% damage reduction. So obviously that is pretty good considering most events are usually built to become harder as you get closer to the end. So him getting that extra damage reduction in the later stage is obviously going to be very, very good. So his start of turn defense is 176k. So remember, he doesn't actually get like any extra defense on super attack. However, after we receive the first attack, then for 5 turns he's going to have another 80% attack and defense. So he is going to go up to what, being around 250 with 50% damage reduction because we've got a Kid Goku on the rotation. Now the thing is, I just picked up 8 orbs with the first Kid Goku, so we got his 7 orb passive. Sadly, I can't get them with the other one, though. But if you had this rotation, whilst it's not ideal having both the Kid Gokus and HACCHAN on the same turn, if you get the 7 orbs with both the Gokus, then you're giving him another 16% damage reduction. So once you get to turn 5, that means he's got, what, 96% in total if both the Gokus are on rotation? It means he basically can't take damage from anything. And you see there, even with the fact that we are only in the first couple of turns, so we don't have the extra damage reduction, we basically take nothing from this tech enemy. Even though he's the first enemy of the Shadow Dragon's Red Zone stage, he's still a tech Red Zone enemy, hitting a 55% AGL enemy with a super attack. So definitely pretty good. I always like it in showcases when this happens as well, where we get the enemy to being almost dead, because then it means I can just finish him off straight away with this rotation and go straight back to having HACCHAN on rotation. Because we can go into the next phase here against the physical and see what our boy is looking like. So when we get to the 5th turn, obviously he becomes pretty much invincible, like when being run with a Kid Goku. So the only times you could get caught is early on in these events if there was a particularly difficult tech enemy. But because obviously the Shadow Dragon Saga one, not exactly the hardest. Now Grandpa Gohan is providing, is it 40% support when there's a Kid Goku on rotation? It is, yes, right? 40%. So he's giving an extra 40% support, and now HACCHAN's got that buff that he got from taking the hit on the previous turn. So at 55%, he has 300k defense and 50% damage reduction on this turn. That's pretty good. And if we get the orbs for Goku, then it means he also has the extra 8% on top as well. The only problem with orb changing is, yeah, you have to be really careful sometimes because the orb paths can open up. The annoying thing is here, because the game prioritizes getting the most key, if we went straight up here towards the reds, that's 7 orbs right there. But it won't let me get them because there are physical orbs there, so it wants to get those instead, which is a little bit annoying. I've mentioned this in videos before. It's always been my chief complaint about Tech Janemba, because he needs 4 type orbs and 2 rainbow orbs, and you can literally have instances where you could get that, but when you go to click on it, the game prioritizes picking up like 3 tech orbs instead, and then that doesn't activate his support part of his passive. So it's a little bit annoying, but that extra 8% damage reduction can make a big difference, especially units for like the Goku himself, who now he's going to take a super attack here. Oh, he took double-digit damage. Alright, well there you go. I guess it didn't really matter that much on this turn. I think the friend Kid Goku has 1 dupe. Oh, this is my one though, so it's 55% Kid Goku with HACCHAN and the support from Grandpa Gohan, just taking double-digit damage from that super attack without having a his damage reduction up. That is pretty good. So if we do that, there we go. Let's get that extra 8%. Let me do this. I've said it in pretty much all of these videos so far where we've talked about Kid Goku, but 8% might not seem like a lot, but when you're eating a super attack, sometimes it can make a significant difference for you surviving the turn, because often that can be the most important thing, right? Is even if you still take a ton of damage, as long as you don't die, then you have the possibility to recover in the next turn, especially if you are running HACCHAN, because then he's going to give you that massive heal. So whilst 8% might not seem like a huge amount, it's definitely better than nothing, right? And when you combine that with units that already have either some damage reduction themselves, or they have guard, or they just have really high like raw defense, then that 8% damage reduction really can go a long way. So definitely very good. Alright, we got Kid Gohan on the rotation, and now we are past the 5th turn. So now we've got 323k. All he gets is the extra damage reduction, isn't it? Yeah, so he doesn't get any extra defense, but we still have the buff active from him getting hit because it lasts for 5 turns. So with the extra bit of defensive support from the Kid Gohan, because he gives 58% as opposed to the Grandpa Gohan's 40%, he has 323k defense with 80% damage reduction. So basically he can't take damage now. Oceanus can super attack in slot 1 and it will do double-digit damage. I can get the orbs with Goku, so now he actually has 88% damage reduction. And yeah, like he just can't take damage. He's going to take double-digit damage from everything. Because remember, you always take double-digit damage. Even if you have 100% damage reduction, you take double digits instead of 0, which I don't know why it works like that, but yeah, I guess it does. So the only downside to the unit, which is a very minor note, is the fact that he obviously doesn't do like crazy attack stats. Now we've got no attack support on this rotation, and he's coming in at just under 3 million. But you know, 55% full level 1 links for a unit that is essentially invincible once you get to turn 5. If you have, like, because again, I say this, but I am always referring to running him with a Kid Goku. And I think that is the only issue. Because, like, let's say you skip this banner because you're on track for, like, saving for the anniversary, or even just for something else in the future, right? Because we don't know what Saiyan Day and Golden Week is going to be. So maybe you want to skip this banner. Obviously, HACCHAN goes into the general pool after this. So you might pull him from the next banner you decide to summon on, but then you don't have Kid Goku. And so I do think that without Kid Goku, he's obviously not going to be anywhere near as good, because he's missing out on 80% defense as well as 30% damage reduction, which means until you get to turn 5, he only has 20% damage reduction and his defense isn't going to be super high. So it's basically the main reason why I wanted to pull him, because when it comes to running Kid Goku, having HACCHAN with him is super good, because not only do they share some links, HACCHAN activates his unit super attack, so even on teams like Movie Heroes, for example, you can just run these two together as a rotation, and they will be perfectly fine. You can build out the rest of the team however you want. Essentially, these two, with the categories that they share, any team that you can run them together as a rotation, obviously they will be effective being used together like that. So definitely very good. Kid Goku has been sealed, but that's not really a huge issue. I can get 7 orbs from there, so let's do this. And then, oh god, it did it again! Because there's more physical orbs here, I can only pick up the physical orbs. Oh, this game. You gotta love it. Alright, so there we go. Fortunately, HACCHAN doesn't need the extra defense, right? We just got hit again. I didn't actually look at his start of turn defense, but his buff had worn off. But then we get hit straight away. We get that extra defense back. Now we get supered. Double-digit damage, even without needing Kid Goku's extra 8%. So, yeah, HACCHAN definitely very, very good when run with a Kid Goku. Now, going back to what I was saying about if you pull him off of a future banner, but you don't have Dokkan Fest Kid Goku, I guess to be fair, if you have the Int Kid Goku, if you've been around long enough to have pulled him, whether it was from his initial banner or any other banner that he returned on, he will be getting an Easy A next week. So, obviously that means there is going to be a good Kid Goku that you could run him with. The only problem is, I guess the main team, because that Int Kid Goku is not a movie hero. So the main team you would then run that rotation on is going to be Dragon Ball Saga, which I guess you can use the Int Kid Goku as the leader. So it's only a 170, but to be honest, that team would actually still work quite effectively. I think maybe when he gets his Easy A, I'll do a video using the Dragon Ball Saga team with just the Easy A Int Kid Goku as the leader, and then we can use HACCHAN on that team, and obviously you can use a friend Path to Power Kid Goku. The only difference, of course, being that Kid Goku has this much more varied leader skill, the Path to Power one, because he leads 3 categories, as well as having the 2 extra 30% buffs, whereas the Int Kid Goku leads, is it Dragon Ball Saga and Youth? So, I mean, you can still use a lot of the same units, but you can't use, like, the Carnival Goku, who, I think Carnival Goku being on this team and actually getting the full 200% is a pretty significant buff for this team, because I don't think, I'm trying to remember back to when this unit came out on JP. Did he come out before the worldwide download celebration? I think he did. Didn't he? Which means his team got significantly better with the release of Carnival Goku. So, but anyway, let's go ahead and finish things off here. Go ahead and grab these for you, and then we can get our 7 orbs for you. So yeah, overall, HACCHAN looking pretty good. Once you get past turn 5, like I say, with a Kid Goku on rotation, he is essentially invincible. Just a very, very strong banner unit. He's just obviously kind of restricted to being run with a Kid Goku. You could make him work without one, but he'd definitely be at a bit more risk before turn 5. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I do think still for a lot of people the banner is probably a pretty easy skip. Especially, again, if you end up in a situation where you just pull Android 8 and not Goku, or even if you're in the same boat I was in earlier where you pull Goku and not Android 8, you can see from the 55% showcase that I did for Kid Goku that his team with his leader skill is significantly worse if you don't have HACCHAN. Also, how ironic is it that the 55% showcase video ended with Kid Goku getting super attacked by Nova, which unfortunately, being an STR boss, means we take a ton of damage even though we had support and his damage reduction. And then this video ends the same way as well. So apparently my Kid Goku is starting a trend of being a super attack magnet for STR enemies, which is kind of unfortunate, but there you go. So let me know what you guys think of HACCHAN down below in the comment section. Definitely a top tier banner unit, and I'm looking forward to taking him against some tougher events. I've seen some clips of how good he is, so I want to do a video to show it off myself, using him against the Cell Max event, because he should be able to tank Tech Cell Max's super attack for double digits as long as he's on rotation with the Kid Goku. And you get Kid Goku's orbs. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. But that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been The Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.